everyone, welcome back. In today's demo, we're going to show you how to protect your Amazon EC2 workloads with Veeam Backup for AWS. With this powerful tool, you can ensure the safety of your critical data in the cloud. Let's get started. Here we are at the Veeam Backup for AWS dashboard, giving us valuable insights into our environment and the workloads we're protecting. This is where we can monitor and manage all the data about what we're protecting in our AWS environment. We can easily keep track of the number of instances, workloads under protection, view configured policies, and monitor backup activity. If you remember, in the last video, we followed this configuration wizard to configure the Veeam Backup for AWS appliance. Now, the last step of the wizard is to create a new policy. You can start from here, or you can exit and head up over to the policy section and choose which policy you want to create. For this demo, we'll stay on EC2 and create a new EC2 backup policy. Click on Add Policy. A new policy creation wizard will appear. Start by giving the policy a name and a description. We'll call it Demo EC2. Click Next. Now, you'll notice you have the ability to protect instances across multiple accounts. So whether you're running individual AWS accounts for business units or for different use cases, you're able to protect those instances and workloads across all these accounts. Specify the role required to perform the data protection tasks. I'm going to choose the production role. If you need, I have a video just about creating and adding new IAM roles. And remember, as a best practice, you can also check the permissions at this stage to ensure everything is set up correct. Now, you choose the region where you want to protect your resources. You can select multiple regions if necessary. I'll just pick a single region, click Add, and Apply. In this step, you get to pick what resources you want to protect within the selected region. You can choose to protect all resources or only specific resources using instance IDs or tags. Tags can be very helpful for identifying mission-critical workloads. For example, using tag policies, any supported AWS resource with the tag key backup and the tag value daily will be automatically backed up on a daily basis. Or categorizing instances based on their importance or priority resources, so tag with a key criticality and a value of either high, medium, low. I'm going to click Cancel and I'm going to select the instance. Protect. Click Apply. Veeam Backup for AWS also allows you to exclude volumes from the backup. So if this EC2 instance had multiple volumes, maybe it's a SQL server and you don't want to actually protect the OS volume, you can toggle this on and exclude it by specifying the volume ID here. However, I won't do that for this demo. Click Next. Now we come to our guest processing. So if this is a Windows EC2 instance that has the SSM agent installed, you can turn on the application aware snapshot. So that would leverage the SSM agent to essentially use volume shadow service in Windows VSS. You also have the ability to do pre and post scripts. Whether it's Linux or Microsoft, we can say, okay, before we do a snapshot, we're going to run this script, and after we took a snapshot, we're going to run this script. You could shut down your databases and bring them up, for instance. And then you also have some options around those snapshots as well. I'm not gonna do this for the demo. Now let's click Next. In this section, we have to pick our targets. The first thing you can do is replicate your snapshots into different regions or AWS accounts. For example, if you want to have replicas of these snapshots in an AWS disaster recovery account in the event that this region goes down or your account gets compromised, You can do this by toggling on and setting the mapping for this. Click here and edit region mapping. So pick a target account, for instance, my disaster recovery role, and a target region. I'll say Canada Central. You also have the ability to enable encryption and leverage encryption keys as well if you want. Click Save, and then apply that. Now we come down to image-based backups. This is where you actually offload those snapshots that you're taking into S3. So not only you can create snapshots with Veeam Backup for AWS, but you can also offload those snapshots and break them down into what we call an object storage VBK. So a .vbk, which is a Veeam Backup file. So pick a backup repository in the same region. Let's pick this S3 bucket. If you don't see any bucket, you can click here on Rescan. Click Apply. Also, you can choose to store archives in S3 Glacier and S3 Glacier Deep Archive for longer data retention and lower storage costs for your backup. But keep in mind that recovering from cheaper object storage might take longer and incur data retrieval fees. Click Next. Now let's set up the backup schedule and retention policies. You can choose how often you want to take snapshots, replicas, and backups. Let's look at the daily schedule, for example. Say I want to take a snapshot at 12 a.m. and perform a backup at the same time. I also want to have a snapshot at 2 p.m. and at 10 p.m. I want to have a replica. You can be very granular with it. We also have the ability to set retention periods for everything that we're doing. So how many snapshots to keep, how many of those snapshots that we're replicating to different regions that we want to keep, and then what is the data retention for our offloaded backups. So every backup that we take and we offload to S3, we're going to keep it for 14 days, or we can also say 1 month. Click Apply. You can do the same and set up weekly, monthly, and yearly schedules. Click Next. Here, you have the option to copy tags from the source over onto the backups or add custom tags to the backups. Click Next. Finally, you have some optional settings. In automatic retries, you can choose to enable or disable this and how many times you want to try the retry option. To enable the health check, you can toggle this on, and essentially a CRC check for the metadata will just verify the integrity of the backup. And then notifications. So in the event of a failure warning, if you want to send automated emails to let someone know or automatically do something, click Next. Now this is a unique feature for data protection solutions in the cloud. This cost estimator gives you a breakdown based on AWS list prices and the settings you've chosen. So this is what this backup policy is going to cost. You have the snapshot costs, replicas cost, backups costs, so how much it's going to cost to store those backups, traffic costs if you're doing anything across regions, and transactions costs, so the API calls that are made. The estimated monthly cost is $1.26, but if you change any settings, it might go up or down. Click Next. Finally, a quick summary of our configurations. Just review everything. You can also test the configuration. And if you're happy with everything, click on Finish, and you're done. You've created a new policy to start protecting your EC2 instance. And now all that's left to do is hit Start to initiate the backup of your EC2 instance. With Veeam Backup for AWS, you can have peace of mind knowing your data is safe and protected. Thank you for watching today's demonstration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more backup and recovery content. Until next time, and happy backing up!